Let's talk about the steps that you take to try to fix those issues before they really, really fester, maybe into serious, serious problems.
Yeah. Yeah, man, about that time, I knew something wasn't right. I wasn't sleeping well. Gosh, it was 2012. I probably started noticing something around 2009, 2010. Not sleeping well, having night sweats, kind of all the things. And so, always had a really good relationship with our chaplains there. So I had a way to go talk to somebody. I'm a Christian, and faith is, my Christian faith has played a primary role in my life. And so having the ability to go talk to the chaplains about things, I mean, that was really great for me. Obviously some spiritual issues going on there, but was struggling with some physical things as well. Again, I didn't know at the time. And so I went over to our medical building and talked to one of the psychs over there, one of the counseling psychs, and he had recommended going to a place called the National Intrepid Center of Excellence up in Bethesda to go through their program, which I ended up doing, and it was super helpful, and a diagnosing a few things, but kind of on the upswing. And how do you deal with that, man? I don't know where I'd be without, my relationship with Christ and kind of his role in guiding and directing my life. For me, I had to, when the times got really, really tough, that was really leaning into my faith and trusting God and kind of laying everything at his feet, and ultimately just knowing that my life was in his hands, and, even if I did die, that things would be okay. So yeah, on that personal level, I say faith plays a big role in all that, and mental health, and trying to interpret hardships and struggles and things like that. Having the ability to talk to the chaplains at the time was, life-changing for me, and definitely kept me on the up and up. I did struggle with things, drinking, at that point was always an issue. And I definitely wasn't an alcoholic. I wasn't drinking every day, but if I'd go on, a training trip or whatever, I'd definitely drink. So I was, relying on other things to try to, help out with the stress and everything that was going on. Definitely not very healthy. But yeah, so, it was at that point, I retired in 2016. I think I went up to NICO in 2014 and got diagnosed with mild traumatic brain injury, some PTS, and some other things. And so it was all starting to make sense to me. I never heard about TBI really, or, what the exposure to concussive blast waves could do to your brain and kind of affect mood and, the physiology of the body and everything. So it was helpful to go through that program to at least get an idea of what was going on. But I knew for a fact that everything was not okay, because, the lack of sleep, the night sweats, having dreams about work. I wouldn't call them nightmares when I went and talked to the docs up in Bethesda at NICO. I think they labeled them nightmares, but I was like, well, I'm not waking up in a panic. I'm just sleeping and working in my sleep, and just, having those issues. So the lack of sleep and TBI and everything affecting mood and whatnot was definitely at that point getting very irritable and angry about things. Just knew that it wasn't.
It's fascinating you talk about the dreams, because you're probably the fourth or fifth person from your old unit who've said that they all dreamed about specific missions they'd done, work. One guy said he dreamed about fighting his own team members. Like he had nightmares about going against his own guys. That's fascinating that so many people have said that exact same thing. Why do you think that is?
That's a good question. I just don't think that you can escape it. When you're doing the job, with that level of stress and everything that's going on, the way you train, the way you fight, I mean, it's just going to come out, in the subconscious and in the dreams and everything. It's like you can't escape it. It's kind of, whether you're asleep or you're awake, it's kind of sucked into that.